again. This is the second attempt to go live here. Once you're on here, let us know you're here. Do you hear us? Do you see us? Hit the thumbs up for us. Helps propagate and push out notifications. Multicam wallets. They look like this. Dual windows. Coyote clothes bags, medium, large, and small. Split front chest rigs, Woodland. We've not run those in a very long time. Huh? And they're online. If you think you want one, there's only 6 of them. They'll hold M4 mags and AK mags. Dana, what up? Warlike, what's up? Galactic Moonshine, what's going on? Cat Daddy Jason, what's up? Wayne. Rand Nada, what's up? Arkansas Infidel, what's up? Brian Fraser, Sondag, what's up? Chuck Peoples, how are you? Wolfgang, what's going on? Warlike, how are you? How's everybody's day? You guys get anything good done today? Did you accomplish some stuff? We're running chub bags. Amanda's cutting chub bags right now. OD black chub bags. Still have SOE belt made me back in Oceanside. Kilo Bravo 6. Right on, man. Right on. Yeah, there's a bunch of belts out there that are 30 years old. Woodland tool bags, multicam black tool bags. OD black kit bags. Let me guess, you're filming. I see nothing but black. Yeah, does anybody else see the picture, or does everybody see black? Peaches, peach preserves. Are the cats still catching baby rodent? They're chasing something, but I haven't seen them with anything more. Jalapenos. Picture and audio good. What's the best chest rig for Wasser 10? Video audio good. 8.5 ounce of shrooms. Witherspoon, what's up? Leardy, what's up? Lots of things done. Yeah, I moved 8 wheel carts out of the row house. The soil is super hydrophobic, so I gotta, break it all down and run water through it by hand almost. Let's see if you can see. There's the row house. Got that all blown out. Yeah, you can't see. But they're carts like these right here. These wheeled carts. I've got 8 more of them. But I will, we're supposed to have some crazy storms tonight, so hopefully it is wet enough to saturate that soil. Lost power at 4 p.m. Yeah, Brandel hit me up this morning and he's like, hey, did you have crazy storms? And we haven't had any water yet, no rain at all yet. Outside hood life cats probably do most outside wire mice work for indoor cats. Maybe, no, there's mice in here, man. This is a big ass building and there's thick insulation and old insulation. There's mice inside here. And if your cat catches one baby mouse, there's dozens of more baby mice. Do we make custom gear? No, not really. The answer, it really just depends who you are. 9 out of 10 times when somebody says custom gear, we already make what they're asking for. It just depends. But while we're here having the conversation, what is it you're looking for? Tell us, let us know. Storm like heck here in Wisconsin. First off, praying that you all get the right amount. Yeah, no shit. It's easy to get too much, isn't it? Our cats brought in a chipmunk. Man, yeah, I've never seen chipmunks on the property here. When we moved on, we had no squirrels either. I've never seen the cats catch squirrels. We have damn chickens come up and like nest the cats in the cat boxes and shit here. We have possums come up and the cats just look at them. Our cats are fed too well. Couldn't touch property, was saturated from rain last night. I sink a foot. Oh yeah, yeah. I go out. I have to go out in that anyways when it's like that and feed animals. MSU rifle, man. Log out of here, close your app, and come back in, and I'll bet it works. Chris Watkins, what's up? CB, what's up? GB. Storm hit us in Texas last night. Secure your stuff. It blew hard as hell. Overton, what's up, man? I haven't seen you on here in a minute. Wasser guy. It's always baffling when people ask me stuff and then I don't see them fucking reply. Wasser guy. Is that just a normal AK? Does it take normal AK mags or what's the deal with? I don't know what it is. I have plenty of options if it's just normal AK mags. Just drove 10 hours, left the city to more rural. Mark, right on. You moved? You moved? Is that what you're talking about? Yes, it does take normal AK. Okay, for normal AK max, you can run our AK M4 Micro, which carries 2 AKs and 2 AKs. You can run our stacked Micro, which is faster and more compact, and it runs 2 AKs and 2 AKs. These will all do M4 mags also. We make bigger rigs if you want to carry more mags, but I don't have one to show you here. Been busy. That's always good, man. 76239, right on. Been struggling to run it. Haven't found anything that fits the mags. Dude, everything we make is made for AK mags because they're just slightly bigger, and as a byproduct, they fit M4 mags. Can anybody on here run AK mags in our gear? Which rig do you use for your AK mags? I know there's a bunch of you. T Hill, welcome to the SOE family. Battle Chemist, what's up? What is Battle Chemist? Like, what is that? Like, ooh, what's a trouser snake? Like performance enhancing chemicals, or battle chemicals, as in mixing chemicals together to for the proper amount of applied pushing or cutting. So we stuff on X-Tex and US Palms with bigger than standard mags. South Dakota, very hard here, even though we are conservative. Yeah, I would not want to live in South Dakota as a prepper, right? That's like the fucking Wild West.
Fucking cold up there.
Small town, Atlantic Coast, Canada. Looking to get inexpensive land soon. Cool, man. Cool. Good for you. Any plans on having Bear on a live stream chat? Yeah, we have Bear once a month. We typically have Bear on once a month live on our Tuesdays. Done your own research. What is the good, bad, ugly of Anavar? I've never used Anavar, man. Anavar's typically a cutting. Females typically run Anavar. Pre-show, it's a hardener. I've never used Anavar. I don't know shit about it. It's supposed to be one of the safer chemicals out there. First time checking out the SW stream after he helped with the Proho radio. Battle Chemist, right on, man. Welcome. Not diesel fuel, and no, it's diesel fuel and styrofoam. The napalms. You can put 1 pound of tannerite in your robot vacuum. You can also put it in your concrete lions at the end of your driveway. You can put it in a lot of things. What's your take on running flicks with AKs, dude? I don't even know what a flick with an AK. I don't know what we're talking about here, man. And I'll tell you, I've been doing this 35 years. Like, I started this company 35 years ago. If there's a group out there killing motherfuckers that you see on CNN, we built kit for them. I don't know what a flick with an AK is. John already had enough black to get parked this week, and an FLC won't fit in. Matt, what's he talking about? Flick. Off the shelf thickeners for fuel. How the U.S. Forestry Service turns a Roomba into a Broomba. Yeah, I like it. I love it, man. I love those shorts. People send me those all the time, and we share those out all the time. Every day, I send some of those shorts out. All the act accordingly. Found the patent for tannerite. It's 2 parts for each part of the binary, so it's really a 4-part: 2 nitrates, 2 sensitizers. I'm surprised they haven't gone after that shit, and maybe they have. Never wore your rigs, never wore your rigs, Airsoft. Airsoft guys run a ton of our rigs. How is your guy like working at Walmart? I don't know who we're talking about. I know a guy that works at Walmart, but he's pretty high up in Walmart. They send him into Walmart, and he works there kind of as an employee for a couple weeks, and then removes the problems, right? He's actually there to straighten things out. Is this live stream warehouse tours? I can show you whatever you want. I'm in the warehouse. I'm here in my building when I do these live feeds. I actually live here on this property. Prefer the 2-part mixture in garden gnomes? Yeah, exactly, man. Garden gnomes, concrete lions, anything. Big potted plants filled with concrete, you know, big planters filled with concrete. Conspiracy world has been blowing up today, saying Putin played the CIA for funding an overthrow that is never going to happen. I don't know, guys. Do you know anybody in Russia? Like, does this affect you in any way? Or does it distract you and take away from you? I got a fucking ton of stuff done here on the property. I never mentioned Russia today. I never looked at anything of Russia today. When we got off live feed last night and I was downloading video and footage from the drones and stuff on the computer, I had a Canada prepper video going about Russia and a Marfugal. I watched some Marfugal stuff just to see what they were saying. And what it looks like is there was going to be a coup, and they rolled into wherever, and then they got fucking struck by some helicopters, saw the error of their way, and they're like, we don't have air assets. You can't win anything without air assets like that. It'll affect your money. No, it's not going to affect my money. It's fucking not going to affect my money. That's some bullshit everybody's worried about. Motherfuckers worried about shit happening overseas and Monday night quarterbacking that shit, you know? You know what they don't have? They don't have any fucking money. All the giraffes, they do move in herds. Dr. Grant, Jurassic Park. It's China that will affect our lives. China doesn't even have the lift capability. China couldn't put troops on the United States, guys. China doesn't have the lift capacity to fucking do it. You always hear about they have the biggest navy in the world. They have 1 aircraft carrier. 1. It's not even half the size of our aircraft carriers. The news said something about oil and Russia to prepare us for a fuel price. Guys, we're not getting oil from Russia. You've already seen the fuel hike. You're not getting urea from Russia. We're not getting natural gas from Russia. And a bunch of fishing. Exactly, man. They can't put troops in Taiwan. How the hell? That's exactly what I'm saying, buddy. That's exactly what I'm saying. It is a distraction for people to talk about who are not involved in it. It's just more distraction. While all this shit happened this week, do you know what was released this week? Do you know what all was put out this week that you didn't fucking see? Do you know that some 4 million fucking files were deleted from Google accidentally? Are you aware of that? This week. We have enough reserves to be independent on oil. And yeah, open Alaska. You wouldn't have to fucking go anywhere. Open Alaska. Just Alaska. Fucking pull oil out of Texas. My dad used to say the Chinese can't get here on an ox cart. Yeah. Yes. It is the next boogeyman, right? Oh my God, they have 5th generation fighters. We need 6th generation fighters. Do you think they need to ask your permission to do shit? Why do you think they tell you things? Do you really think they need the general consensus of the public to do all the shady shit they do? They only tell you so it's a distraction to you. They need you fighting amongst yourselves. If all the black people and all the white people were friends together and we weren't worried about who was sleeping with who, we would realize that the real enemy are the politicians. They need us fighting amongst ourselves so that we do not eat them. Damn, we could get it from Canada. Why do we need it? Yeah. Why don't we just annex Canada? Take their fucking resources. Every fucking Canadian would rather be a U.S. citizen. Well, they fooled us into thinking our money is being used over there. Well, our money is being used over there, but we don't have any fucking say in it. You don't have one fucking say about where your money goes once they steal it from you. If everybody would get together, if the U.S. citizens weren't such pussies, everybody would get together and be like, nah, we're not doing that. Could you imagine if 5% of the United States just didn't pay taxes? They wouldn't have enough enforcement. If you didn't pay traffic tickets, if you just didn't show up to fucking court one day, if 1% of the United States didn't pay traffic tickets or disputed them, it would completely crash their entire system. Trudeau would have an aneurysm if he had to stop being addicted. Yeah, that's Castro's son, guys. Fidel Castro, you know, Cuba, Fidel Castro, that's his child. Everybody's too busy being in debt. No, everybody's too busy being pacified by this thing that's in your hand right now. Everybody's too easy. It's too simple. They haven't ever felt hardship. They don't know they have no calluses on their hands. Nobody has fucking calluses. And everybody has amusement and entertainment. Constitutional right to abolish the government and form. Yes, except they will send 100 people to a high-profile location and kill them and burn their house down, and that puts the normal people in fear. Yeah, James did make the call years ago. I got arrested for an unpaid seatbelt ticket. Way to take dangerous criminals. That's it exactly, man. You guys should every one of you, should check out Here's the Deal YouTube channel and just watch a couple videos. Here's the deal. IRS Section 26, Title 601, 602, based on voluntary contribution. I both work a white-collar job as well as calluses on my hands with bloody scabs from working on my car. Got a balanced life. Battle chemist. You, as well as I, know that if you're listening to this video, that doesn't apply for you. You also know that you are less than 5% of the population. Yeah, the fact that you can get arrested for not having a seatbelt. Not a crime. No victim. Meanwhile, the police officers, you will see motorcycle cops pull people over and write tickets for no seatbelt. The board should be panic at law and art. I like it. Propaganda. I think if you have a motorcycle license, you should have to wear a seatbelt in your car. I think if you have a motorcycle's license, you shouldn't have. Oh, I see what you're saying. The victim is you. A dude here tried to kill the mayoral candidate and got bond the next day. Yes, because the mayoral candidate was a Republican. In their eyes, the insurance company is the victim when you wreck without a belt on. Yes. Yes, if you can't present the victim, there should no victim, no crime. He's a Democrat. There you go. Yeah, I mean, look at California. Didn't California used to rank as a country like the 4th country for GDP? Like California was like the 4th biggest gross domestic product. Is that correct? And with so many people losing and leaving California in the last 2-3 years, Germany has taken 4th place. Is that correct? Do I have that correct? I think that's my understanding there. Soros DAs were put in place, yes. And you're seeing that all over. And Soros' son has taken over. He's been to the White House 17 times this year. 17. He says he's much more political than his father. What's Scully's full name? What's it fucking matter what Scully's full name is? You thought they were 3rd. Boiled and fried in buffered potatoes in an iron skillet. That's not any suggestion. Oh, I don't know. Germany was the 4th largest economy. Unfortunately, the rest of America will have to go through hard times. Yes. I was trying to find more about him. Task Force meme. Why? So you can make a bunch of bullshit memes? We have a ton of content out there where his name is out there. It's been out there a ton of times. But when a dude shows up, and that's the only time he showed up asking some shit like that, it's usually because he's trying to start some shit. It's not because he's interested. So which one are you? Don't make dinner. Right on, Battle Chemist. Welcome. Maybe we'll see you again, bud. Bob, what's up? He is weaker. I'm not scared of these people. Viking, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You got to speak in whole sentences. There's the comments don't show up in order. There's never a coherent, conversation. Do I have a doomsday bunker? No, I don't have a doomsday bunker. Is the multicam nylon IR treated? Yes, it's called. Yes, it's called solution dyed. Soros' son, yeah, that's who's taking over all the money. California fell behind Germany and UK. California's 6th place. Yeah, how many people left? How many people left California? Do you see all the major corporations pulling out and abandoning their properties? Hilton pulled out. The largest mall in San Francisco has fucking pulled out, defaulted on $550 million loan. There's tons and tons of places. Walgreens pulling out of there. Yeah, and there's often like Laird there. I don't know what that's in reply to. What problems are you working on? How can you work together? How can we work together? Grow food, man. Grow food. Stop getting caught up. War within arm's reach. Can you feel it? Can you smell it? Can you touch it? Does it affect the temperature of the water in your pool? If the answer is no, then it doesn't matter what the fuck is happening in Russia. But everybody wants to discuss what's happening in Russia. You know, do you think they're really going to tell you? Well, I heard from this person. Do you think they're really going to tell you what's really happening in Russia? Do you think they're really going to ask you permission on how they spend the money that they steal from you through taxes and penalties and fines? Do you really think that you have a say in what happens? Would you be better off putting your energy into doing something that makes you and your future family better? Should you build an empire? Should you produce a product that people willingly seek out and want to give you money for? Should you amass money and funds and property right now? Would that make you better had you done that the last 10, 20, 30 years, or if your parents had done the same? If you're not busy worrying about Russia or worrying about Ukraine or whatever the fuck it is we're worrying about. Newsom and Big Mike. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Who fucking knows, man? Can you stop it? What are you going to do if it happens? If they steal another election, what are you going to do about it? Allstate and State Farm pulled out of insurance agencies. Good. Let them fucking burn. Let them burn. Left California, 725,000 in 2020, 310 in 21, 290 in 22. Look at the moving trucks and the rental trucks coming out of California. It is cheaper for you to go to Las Vegas, and I actually know people that went to Las Vegas to rent rental trucks, drove them to California, and then took them to Texas and said, hey, your rental truck's in Texas. They literally couldn't get rental trucks to leave California. They went to Las Vegas to get them. What about millionaire people we don't know in the submarine? Yeah, and that's the other one, right? The submarine. Does anybody give a fuck about the submarine? Do you know they knew those people died fucking almost a week ago? Those people were dead the first day. They've been dead. But the media kept reporting it and drawing it out. The United States Navy knew they were dead. Jason, what's that? Does anybody give a fuck about those people in the submarine? Do you think they would have had you over for fucking dinner? Did they sponsor your kid's softball team? Did you know any of them? Do you think would they have invited you? I did a consult for folks who moved here from California in 2020. They are blown away by the culture of freedom around here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. That's Carrie right there. No one was probably even in the submarine. Maybe. But who gives a fuck if there was? Who fucking cares? What happened that you didn't hear about? If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. Honestly, I think the virus was a nice little wake up to those who got a little complacent. I know I felt the stress it put on our family helped show us what we lacked, that we needed to work. John Fisher, buddy, the virus was the flu. There was no special virus. And what it also should have showed you is how dangerous the people you call friends are. How many of your family members are still wearing costumes? How many of your family members took the experimental virus? How many people do you know died not from COVID, but after they became vaccinated? How many people do you know that took the vaccination that look like they have completely, like you could make a list of 20 things fucking wrong with them? Their skin's all fucked up. Everything's fucked up in their life. All kinds of health shit. They look like they have aged fucking 20 years since they got vaccinated. Do you know anybody like that? Do you know anybody like that? Now things have been pressure tested a little bit, and those fucking welds, they didn't hold fucking air. They didn't hold pressure. People you thought, the people that were like, if things go bad, I'm coming to your house. This was kind of a wake-up call, right? You saw who was going to do what. I still see people in the car wearing the mask, yes. I see mostly black people wearing the masks. Older, elderly, black people. And little boy girls. Little motherfuckers that look like they cut their hair with scissors and didn't look in the mirror. No, my grandmother died after having COVID, but really had pneumonia. Yes, yes. Elderly people who had pre-existing conditions. How many people did they kill by putting them on vents? Do you think anybody's going to go to prison for that? Do you think the World Health Organization is going to have any Nuremberg trials over that shit? We only have one black guy, I wouldn't know. Overton. Asians wearing masks in vehicles driving alone. That's not a new thing though, right? We always saw Asian people wearing masks. Even as a small child, when I would go to Disneyland, you always saw Asian people wearing masks. You always saw them on airplanes. That's not a new thing. Someone ventilated barely pulled through, half Asian. This is true. Scott Whitner, what's up, buddy? Ordered a large clothes bag yesterday. Right on. What color? 24,000 for three hot targets. We had to turn friends away when TP and eggs got scarce. Man, you know what we did when TP and eggs got scarce? I have a room full of toilet paper. When I say I have a room full of toilet paper, I don't mean like I have some toilet paper. I mean I legitimately have a room full of fucking toilet paper. Not like the walls are lined with it. Like you have to take toilet paper out of the room to get in the room. Do you know when I got that toilet paper? I got that toilet paper 10 fucking years ago. 10 years ago. We didn't do shit. When people couldn't get toilet paper, you know where they had toilet paper? All the commercial places had toilet paper. Lowe's and Home Depot, when you couldn't get toilet paper and you couldn't get Pine Sol and you couldn't get hand sanitizer, Lowe's and Home Depot had it. People aren't accustomed to looking there. We went from 100 chickens to 300 chickens. I throw chicken eggs away every day today. My dogs eat so many chicken eggs that are not laid. So my chickens lay in secure nest boxes that the dogs can't get to. There are so many chickens laying eggs in random places that when I feed my dogs, they look at you like, leave me alone, I'm not hungry. I can go almost 6 months out of the year and not even feed my dogs. When you walk through the gates, they don't come looking for you like they're hungry. What type of chickens? We've got all kinds of chickens, man. I got Brahmas, I got Barred Rocks, I got Sex Links. What else? I have cinnamons. I probably have 20 different kinds of chickens. Now, if you're getting into chickens, get one breed this year, right? Get whatever you like. Get Barred Rocks this year. Next year, get Rhode Island Reds. The next year, get Black Sex Links. That way, you know that the oldest birds are all one color. So when you pull those out, you can let your birds go 4 or 5 years, but you're spending more to feed them than they're giving you, right? So we use our chickens. I actually kill chickens and use them for dog food. We also breed. I've got about 100 rabbits right now. We raise rabbits for the manure. The manure is more valuable than the rabbit. And we feed our dogs raw rabbit, whole raw rabbit. We just kill the rabbit, give it to the dog. The dog runs away, hides it, and then eats it whenever it wants to eat it. Golden comments. Yep, those are good too. Yeah, Evan. And that's if you really need to look at animal husbandry as numbers, right? What does it cost in inputs and what does it give you in outputs, right? And when that chicken goes through the molt, it's going to turn off, like you're not getting anything. And sometimes when hens go through molts, they hide in the nest box and eat eggs, right? So when you find an egg eater, or you even think that that thing might be eating eggs, kill that bird. Get rid of it right then. Completely different subject. Cinnamon, brown sugar, coconut, potatoes, and squash. Oh, I like it. I like it. Thanks for the info. Didn't know half the thing I learned from the podcast shorts and the videos of y'all. Thanks for participating, man. I have also raised rabbits in the past. Their manure, urine, and meat is utter gold. Yeah. I use cement mixing trays. Now, when you get cement mixing trays at Home Depot or Lowe's, they have two sizes, the large and the small. Get the smaller size, because if you don't empty them on a regular basis, they get heavy and eventually they crack. The larger ones crack easier. Get the smaller ones and just put them under your rabbit cages. And then I take that and I'll empty that into the bucket of a skid steer, or I'll dump them into a compost pile. Mike Glover is homesteading. Yeah, everybody's homesteading, guys. It's the thing to do. The ultimate goal of a prepper is to homestead, right? Why would he not be? Plus, he's making money on it. It draws new eyes. It's more things he can teach. It's very smart. All of us just want to be left alone. So we move someplace rural. What do you do in rural areas, right? What is the concern when things went nuts in the pharmacy, in the grocery stores, right? Do you believe that they're putting chemicals in your meat that you buy in the grocery store? How do you negate that? You raise your own meat. Do you know that half of the weight of chicken you buy from the grocery store, it's injected? They have these giant spike things that inject it. It plumps the chicken up with a saline solution as well as flavoring and color. Do you know your steaks that you buy in your grocery store are not really that color? Most people don't know that. Yeah, leave me alone and stop trying to take my stuff. That's exactly it. Your goal should be able to own enough property that nobody can see what you're doing on your property. Do you feed bunnies hay or pellets? I feed them pellets, Evan. I've done hay from the lawn before. Cheaper, but more pain to keep up. Yeah, it is more pain. So we do rabbits in tractors, which is just a fancy word for a cage. Our cages are 3 feet by 8 feet long, and they have 2 by 4 wire on the bottom. Maybe it's a little smaller. And we drag them every day. And then when I drag them, I have a seeder. It's a little, it's called a whizzer. And it's a battery-powered seeder. And I seed clover and deer forage and a few other things. So when you move them, it's super, they've dug there, they've pissed and shit there. And then when I move them, I put seed there. So I can go through there. I have clover a lot of places. I can go through with a mower, and if I want to be quiet, I can use an electric mower and a bagger, and I can bag that grass and then feed it to rabbits in cages if I need to. I also stopped chopping down and killing all my weeds this year. I have tons of dandelions and things that look like dandelions that are 4, 5, 6 feet tall. And I cut them off about 2 feet from the ground. And I fill up 20-gallon Rubbermaid containers. They're like this, but they're like this tall green one here. I fill it up with weeds. And then I take those weeds and I put them in the rabbit cages in the evening. And then I reduce my pellets. Now, when I put rabbits on grass, we feed them 50% less pellets. We also planted fall trees this last year in swales, and we put in hybrid willow, hybrid poplar, and Russian white mulberry. And I've got, like, we put in 300. I have maybe 50 of those trees have actually made it through the winter. I was actually mowing, you'll see a video of it. I was mowing the swales last night in between. And then I've got some weeds growing. What happened was the grass, the trees did great early in the year. And there was like 300 of them on 9 rows. And then when it got warm, the grass grew up and choked the trees out. And I didn't make my swales big enough or wide enough between swales. But some of them have made that through. Now you can feed any of those trees, you can feed the leaves and the stalks and the stems to the rabbits. But you do what's called compassing. So if you cut that tree down, you let it get about 6 feet tall, and then you chop that tree down about a foot off the ground. And then it grows a bunch of shoots out like a blueberry. It doesn't grow like a tree, it grows like a blueberry bush. You take that shit and you run it through a chipper or a pulverizer, and then you can put that in a bag and you can ferment it and make what's called silage. It used to be called tree hay. They used to do this about 100 years ago. Farmers fed their animals this. Now, if you have trees growing around, like if you have woods or forests near you, there's a lot of trees in there that your animals will eat. Because my concern was pelletized feed. Now, what you might also not know is for $1,000, you can buy a machine that will take that and actually roll it and make it into pellets. You can make your own pellets. I put in 1,500 fodder trees and none of them made it. Just brush hogged them down, dozed in the swales. Yeah, I know, man, that sucks. I wonder why. I wonder what went wrong. Some of mine are out there. Been trying to math, thanks Evan, been trying to math it out, never made sense. Your claim confirms it. What are we talking about? Attended Self-Reliance Festival at John's place in October. You can see his setup. Yes. Bob, that made me so sad. Yeah, Bob had made a badass maze out of his. It was going to be awesome. I just dumped the grain bed from my fermenter to the pigs today. Nothing funnier than drunk pigs. Or like get bigger than you think, avoid freezer burn. 400 pounds, half steer, fills about half of the, oh, I see what we're talking about. Peter, why do we keep asking if the Cordura is IR treated? First of all, it's not called IR treated. I have answered this question every time you have asked it, including tonight on this video also. It is called solution dyed. Yes, it is solution dyed. You're not even using the correct terms. Yes, it is. But if you're really fucking concerned with it, look at it. And most people asking this question don't even have night vision. Multicam Cordura, no matter where you buy it from, there is one mill in the entire United States that makes all of the multicam Cordura. And it is called solution dyed. And yes, it is solution dyed. Where do you find Scully's podcast? You find our podcast, Pulling the Thread podcast. There are 40 episodes. It's under the membership on this channel. You have to be a member at $10 level. You will have access to all 40 of them. If you don't want to pay the $10, no problem. They come out about 4 months behind, and there are 13 or 14 episodes out now to the public. Might try again this fall. Might need to tarp all the area this summer and plant in the fall, spring. You silage tarp it to choke everything out, Bob? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe even put in some irrigation or some water lines to it. Scully reminds you of Marcinko. We've actually spoken many times on there about Billy, the guy that got the Sherman tank. He was one of Marcinko's original guys. He was one of the Red Cell guys. He was also a plank owner at one of the SEAL teams. Will you be attending the Overland Expo? No, I will not. No. Do you have fish ponds? Do you have any fish ponds? Yeah, we have fish here on the property in the back. I've got red-eared sunfish. I have brim, and I have hybrid bluegill. And then there's a bunch of bass in there too. We didn't put them there, but we're very close to the river here. So fish get eaten by birds, shorebirds and stuff, and then they shit them out, and the eggs and the fry come out, and they just seed the ponds. This year, letting the land rest. No gardening, no animals, nothing. I needed a break to handle my shit and set my house up, feeling the ramp up coming strong for next year. Evan, buddy, that's not letting the land rest. There's no such thing as letting the land rest. When you let the land rest, Mother Nature will put some shit there, and it will never be what you want. So if you have animals there, the animals would greatly improve the land. If you could just put sheep out there and get roll bales and just roll them out, they will eat that stuff and digest it and shit that out and super fertilize the soil where you have them pinned up. I totally understand burning out and not wanting to deal with a bunch of animals and do other shit. I totally get it. But there's no such thing as letting the land rest. When you let the land rest, you're actually fucking the land up more. What's a plank owner? That's a dude that stands up a brand new SEAL team. It did not exist. They're like the granddaddies of the SEAL teams. Stacy Roth, welcome to the upgrade. Goats are better. Sheep are too finicky. I disagree. I had 23 sheep, 23 goats. Goats are a fucking pain in the ass. You need way better fencing. You have to manage them. They're always into some shit you don't want them in. I have sheep. Here's the problem with sheep, guys. People don't maintain the sheep. If you want to rotate your sheep, you want them to eat a top third of the plant. Top third, move them. They've shit in that area. They've hoofed that area and aerated that area. And they've eaten all the seeds and they've shit those seed heads out. When you let a sheep eat and eat and eat, and they eat off the ground, they're eating their own manure. When they eat their own manure, they have a high parasite load. And then you have to vaccinate them and you have to take care of them. And we're not talking wool sheep. You don't ever want wool sheep. When you have wool sheep, 50% of the energy goes into growing wool. When you have hair sheep, all that energy goes into creating meat. And they just rub against stuff and they shed their cells. You don't have any inputs. You don't have to maintain them and shear them. Goats, kind of the same. But the goats, you better have better fencing with your goats. And I'm saying this as somebody who has had a shitload of goats. If you want to do any of this stuff, it's all about regenerating grass. It's about growing grass and sustainable agriculture. Greg Judy is who you want to listen to and watch. Greg Judy. My sheep here came from Greg Judy. Now, if you want to, you should look at the shepherdess. She has an amazing YouTube channel, and she breaks down everything very scientifically and factually into numbers. If you have this many chickens and you do this, you will make this much money. If you have this many sheep and you do this, you will make this much money. She makes way more money on sheep than she did on cows or anything else. Yeah, goats get on cars, goats jump over fences. I haven't had any of my fucking sheep get their heads caught in the fence. But goats, you will constantly see a goat with his head stuck in the fence, and you will see two other goats behind him or her fucking her. Goats are raping everything. They're disgusting. Goats stand on their hands, on their front feet, and suck their own dicks. Goats do handstands and piss all over their beards. When you go out there, goats fucking stink. Sheep don't do any of that shit. Had a damn goat get on my rabbit cages. Yeah, they'll destroy shit, man. I've never had my sheep do any of that shit. And now we have a pen. We have a 10 by 20 tractor on big wheels, and I put my sheep in there, and I feed them and water them in there, and they just eat they shear down the grass in there, and then I move it every day. So they shear the grass about halfway down, and I move it, and they shear it down, and I move it, 10 by 20. It's called rotational grazing. Couple dwarf Nigerians. Yeah, I had a dwarf, and he raped everything and made a bunch of useless fucking shitty goat babies. Are we still using the tractor? Yeah, Bob, I've been using the tractor the last probably 4 weeks. I've been using it. That top paddock up top, the grass is where I had them all last year. The grass is super thick, and there's hardly any weeds out there. There's like Bermuda grass growing all through there. Like the seed heads that look like little helicopters, you know, the grass. You could walk through there barefooted right now. There's a couple of weeds sticking about 30 inches up in there. I haven't mowed it at all. The only thing we did was have the sheep up there last year. What's the next big thing you want to buy for the compound? I don't know, sawmill maybe. What do I think of guard mules? Mules are assholes. Mules will kill coyotes. They will also kill goats and sheep and anything else they can get a hold of. You better have a lot of room. If you're going to have dogs, are way easier to deal with. Dogs do a better job. Mules and donkeys kill all kinds of shit. They'll kill baby goats and sheep fucking all the time. There's video out there of goats and mules, goats also, eating baby chickens. Get a well or two. That's a good one. That's a good one. Why do you think you always see people giving away mules? Donkeys too. Zebras too. Zebras will kill coyotes. Prefer the taste of lamb to goat meat. We have a customer made rotisserie to cook them whole. That's nice, man. That's nice. Donkeys and mules kill coyotes and maybe the neighbors. Do we have problems with coyotes? No, I have zero problems with coyotes. I can show you video after video, picture after picture of coyotes right outside our fences. They run this corridor. So we have 20 acres behind us that's just raw land that was it was logged probably 10 years ago. And then it runs over to TVA. And then there's hundreds of acres of Wildlife Authority property over there. The coyotes run right through there, right up the property beside us, and they cross the road and they go eat cats and dogs over there. My dogs will kill anything that comes over the fence. We don't have any problems. We use fences to keep dogs in. We use dogs to keep predators out. My dogs even get hold of hawks. Lamb Slovaki. Yeah, my guy makes that once a week here. He does it on little skewers and stuff. Someone gave me a zebra, bet I wouldn't have one. If someone gave me a zebra, I bet wouldn't have one. I don't know what I'm talking about. Had 17-hand mule named Jack. Dude would chase anything, humans and all. Yeah. The freeze dryer? Our freeze dryer is great, man. The freeze dryer is not running right now. Amanda canned a ton of shit this weekend. We brought in a bunch of peaches. She did peach jam. She did canned peaches. A lot of these jalapenos in here are out of our garden. She did jalapenos, pickled candied jalapeno. These are great on hamburgers. And then these are out of our garden here. And then we did a bunch of, I don't know where they're all at. We did a bunch of, here they are. We got a bunch of banana peppers and stuff too. What breed of dogs? Kangles and Great Pyrenees. Pyrenees mixed with Anatolian Shepherds are amazing. Yes, they are. I have one. I have another Pyrenees puppy coming. If anybody wants one, I don't know what the price of them is. Bob had 2 last I heard. He has 2 females available from working dogs. I'm getting one of the puppies. There was 2 last I heard. I don't know if there's still any available. Our dogs caught 3 raccoons trying to get in the chicken coops. There are 3 raccoons feeding the soldier flies. That's beautiful. Freeze dryers freeze drying the leftover Jeremy chicken and fried rice I made. Nice. Borbolos? Borbolos? I can't even pronounce it. I would probably, yeah, I mean, you totally could. I would look specifically for livestock guardian dogs, not a, what's it called, a Mauler breed, like a pit bull or the Boberals or the Argentina Dogos. Caucasian Shepherds are pretty badass. Cotsicons, there's all kinds of stuff. If you think you need a dog for livestock protection, there are some very, very good livestock guardian dog groups on Facebook. And those guys will also tell you you don't need heartworm medication. You don't need all this shit. They will tell you what they do. Are chows good? No, chows are typically not good for livestock. Rottweilers, Jack Russells, Rhodesians, also not good for livestock. Now that you might have something different to say, but the general consensus is those dogs are not good for livestock guardians. Livestock guardian dogs they sleep during the day, they're up at night, they kill anything that comes in there, and they're very mellow with your animals. Like you will see baby animals walking all over livestock guardian dogs. The dogs have no aggression to the animals. Livestock guardian dogs are not pets. They are outside every day, every minute with the animals. They never come inside, no matter the weather. Those animals, those dogs are bonded to those animals. They care more about the animals than you. And a lot of times, those dogs are shy to humans, and you won't even be able to pet them. Pure Pyrenees make great alarm dogs, but having a couple of more aggressive breeds in the pack make the combo deadly. Highly recommend Caucasian Shepherds for inside the house only. Caucasian Shepherds are great outside. I would never have a Caucasian Shepherd inside. Yes, they do. The Pyrenees are a little less mouthy. I wanted something much more aggressive, which is why we added the brown dogs. You want a dog to be raised? Yeah. We typically take puppies and put them with older dogs. My 2 Pyrenees right now, they're getting up around 7, 8 years old. I'm putting a puppy with them right now. There's a puppy out there. There's a 1-year-old Kangal out there with all the females right now. And we're putting another puppy, like a puppy Pyrenees out there. I expect my dogs, one of them they came out of the same litter. One of them looks like she's 2 or 3 years older. I'm already expecting any time to just find her expired. When that happens, I will freeze her and send her to somebody I know that's going to take her skeleton and articulate her skeleton. Raccoon used to be a pest. Then I learned that they make larvae for the chicks to eat. Now it feels like it's not a waste to kill them. Yeah, kill anything out there that's eating your animals, guys. So I have basically this building has a big fence around it. So there's a circular fence around this building. It's actually rectangular. And then there's a fence around the entire property. And there's a back area that's fenced and a front area that's fenced. There are possums that come in the fenced area when the dogs aren't out. If the dogs are out, they kill and eat the possums. But the cats out front just look at the possums. I can go out a lot of nights and there's a possum out there eating cat food. That possum never gets up into the fenced area where the dogs are. Never. That's where the chickens and the eggs and everything are. Those animals, they just know. They never go there. Have 2 females left. I can bring to SRF in October. What's your price, Bob? Caucasian Shepherd is a complete teddy. Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. The house and the family outside house, there is nothing that happens he doesn't know about. Yes. Our dogs are outside dogs. Every year, every single minute of the year, no matter the weather. We used to take, we have big dog loos that we would load up with straw. And we would take our kennels, we use tartar kennels that are 10 by 10, and we would line the entire wall of the kennel with straw bales. Those dogs never use any of that shit. We would spend $600 to $1,000 every year in straw. Those dogs sleep out in the ice. You'll literally walk outside and go, holy shit, that dog is out in the ice frozen. And when you open the fence, they look up and they come running. When you pet the dog, their fur is frozen. There's ice crystals in their fur. All of our dogs sleep right out in the snow. Depends on who's getting them, right on. When the world ends, I'll be eating Jeremy's chicken and rice while you're eating cats. And I mean, there's people that have, like Pyrenees, guys. My Pyrenees are deceptive in that they look like they're 120 pounds, and they're really about 60 pounds. There are big stock Pyrenees that are 200-pound dogs. There are people who have Pyrenees that live in apartments. I am lucky that I live in a big enough place that nobody can complain about my dogs. I hear my dogs bark all night long. All night long, the dogs bark. I don't have neighbors that can complain about it. I barely, if I go outside, I can just barely hear dogs barking that are not on my property. We used to have Dobermans, lived outside in the Missouri winter. No special coats or anything. Just needed a shed to sleep in. Yeah, and we have shelters for the animals. One of my dogs gets under. We use those, we take IBC totes and put them 6 feet up in the air on rail ties. We take rail ties, cut them in half, and stack them up like Lincoln logs. I have one Pyrenees that loves to get in there. She crawls really low to get under there and get inside. And then I have one Pyrenees that stays inside the shed that we had for goats. It's just like a lean-to, you know, it's on 3 sides on a roof. And then my other dogs, they just sleep wherever. They're never under shelter. My sheep have access when it rains to several shelters, and the sheep, I have yet to see them in any kind of shelter ever. They're out, literally out in the middle of the rain all the time. Like you can see right here, I think you can see, there's one of the goat sheds. And then there's a chicken tractor, there's 2 rabbit tractors, and then there's dog kennels. I guess you can't really see the dog kennels up there. It's pretty dark up there tonight. Here's a cat. I thought I was going to show you a possum, but there's no possum out here right now. Besides honey, honey does last forever. You use it for wound packing. You can use it for all kinds of shit. Not wound packing, but covering. Most Pyrenees are giant balls of fur. Yes, my mixed Pyrenees is only 35 pounds, partly because of his mixed, partly because he was a stray. Right on. Run like the wind. Yeah. Josh, what's up, buddy? Pierre, what's up, man? You're hearing that everywhere. When you're trying to get something repaired, everywhere, nobody has parts to repair shit for heat and air. Sometimes you can get a tech that'll come out and kind of jury rig some shit and make it last longer. But for the most part, nobody has parts for anything. They're quoting 2 and 3 years right now on commercial installations on putting Samsung products in places. I have a lab Newfoundland. Oh, I had a Newfoundland when I was young. Big old black dog. Can you freeze dry honey? I believe you can freeze dry honey, Josh. I have seen it for sale. If you want a dog that'll totally control your life for 10 years, a Malinois. It just depends if you have a properly trained Malinois or not. And we have Fortress Canine Fortress Defense comes out here with dogs, and his dogs are fucking amazing animals. Amazing animals. Dude came out with a motor in the truck, but they won't sell it to customers without a license. What the fuck does that mean? What fucking license are you supposed to have? Will he just cannot just put the motherfucker in? Picking up our Fortress Canine dog in September. Like, I can't go buy the motor to install it. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you said he came out with one in the truck. Have him put it in. My license number in the USA. What's your favorite camo pattern? Man, I like multicam black. But it's like, what's your favorite tool? I don't know. Do I need to drive nails? Do I need to drive screws? Do I need to take off rusty bolts? That's how camo pattern is. But I really like multicam black. And a lot of people like multicam black. When I put up a new product, we put up a new product and we populate it and let you order whatever you want for a couple weeks. Multicam black is always the one that people order the most of right now. Followed by multicam, followed by multicam black red thread, followed by woodland. And actually now it's probably multicam black and then woodland as 1 and 2. Please make the 15 mag Scully rig. The current rig Jeff is using is an 8 mag stack chest rig with 4 CQB mags. So that's 16 mags on the chest rig. We ran some last month. Now if you want a vest or an LBV like Jeff has, you can get the Rallyman vest, which carries 12 mags before you add any more mag pouches to it. And that's what's sitting right here. And I do make them one at a time. If they're not on the website, you send an email and we discuss it from there. How long will they last if they use it? The actual skill level. I'm not sure what we're talking about. Costa's dog is probably one of the highest trained dogs I've ever seen. That dog is smarter than most. Yeah, his dog's getting old though. That dog's getting old. It'll still bite the shit out of you if told to. But like it can't just jump up on shipping containers anymore. It can, but jumping down becomes an issue. Like the dog will do it if given the command. But at the age he's at, like he's giving the dog CBD and, you know, glucosamine products and all kinds of stuff. The LBV is amazing, worth every. Yeah, I agree. Is Moss Gray really as expensive as London Bridge Trading makes it? So Moss Gray is some bullshit that they named Moss Gray. It's not actually a color on the Pantone scale, if I remember right. They had some mill run it. It's like a cross between gray and brown. I have gray here. We have 3 or 4 different shades of gray. We just call it gray or wolf gray. I can show you what we have right here. Your favorite pattern is Ghost? Yeah, it works well. People buy products yet don't have the understanding to use it correctly. Depends what it is, man. I mean, how much can you fuck up using an LBV, right? How much can you fuck up using a backpack or a kit bag or a tool bag? Just depends what we're talking about. This is our gray right here. See, the Velcro doesn't match the Cordura. And see, there's different shades of gray for the Velcro. That holds 4 subgun mags. Tactical is fuck gray, that's right. Oh man, sorry Frenchie. If it ever happens again, I'm 608 certified, so I can buy anything AC related. It's still broken. It's either pay the dude to fix it now or wait 2 to 3 days to get the part. Yeah. But that's how it is, man. The dude that has the part on your truck, he's not going to sell you the part. He's going to put it in because that's where he makes his money. Unless you have a guy. Did you speak to Tad? Did you get a hold of Tad? Because your other option is you could come here and perhaps get the part from Tad and then not have to deal with it. But what's your time cost? You could pay the dude to put it in, or you drive here to get, by the time you do it, it's probably a wash. Remember a video of you and Scully talking about Costa and his dog, and Scully told a story of the dog removing an irrigation. So that's not Costa's dog. That was Dwayne Dwyer's dog from Strider. Dwayne, his dog chewed up the sprinkler system. Costa's dog can come here and jump right up on my fence and just fucking sit on my fence post. Like he's crazy. Cool dog. 105 watching. Wow, awesome. No, never got a hold of him. The dude that came out was cool, clean, and serviced the unit. Oh, right on, right on. So it's working again. When it gets hot a lot of times, Pierre, your unit will freeze up. Like if you have your, like typically at night, I have my unit down to 65 degrees, right? And then I get up in the morning on the weekend, come downstairs, don't turn it off. And then we leave on the weekend, and it's 90 degrees here. So upstairs, it's hot. So the AC unit runs from, 9 o'clock last night until 9 o'clock tonight when we get back in town, and it's froze up. And the fix is you have to turn the fucking unit off until it unfreezes. That's usually what the fix is. Even when it's working, when it's hot, and you have your unit kicked down and it doesn't have time to cycle on and off, it just fucking freezes up. I have 5 7-ton units on the building here. And it's the only one that ever freezes up is the one upstairs because I forget and leave that motherfucker on. Turn your unit down as much as you can take it at night, yeah. John, you got wild stories, shouldn't be alive moments. Yeah, I think most of us do. Sell an extra car tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I was using the skid steer tonight. It's got the best AC on the property. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here in just a minute. When my AC freezes, the coils and filters are dirty. Clean them and good to go. Yeah, and I mean, you can spray it out with a hose and clean it. You should do that every few months anyways. But when I have that motherfucker cranked down and I forget in the morning and leave the entire day, it was 95 degrees here today. At the last SRF, Joel had our dog jumping on a step ladder stretched between IBC totes. That was halfway through his training, yes. Yeah, the skid steer AC is legit. Was the heat bank robber carrier based off of anything? A prop house. Prop house. There's a company out there that sells those. We have something kind of similar to that. We could take our LBV right now and just put elastic loops on it and accomplish the same thing. Run the fan and it will defrost for a little while and then you're back online. Kane, thanks for being here. Yeah, your dog's going to be awesome, Bob. I keep the house at 72 to 74 year round. So upstairs is 10,000 feet. And one AC that runs this side. And there's one AC that runs this side. And typically the apartment, it runs on one side. So we crank it down really low. And then if the other side isn't cranked down, the one side is trying to keep up and keep it cooled at 65 or 50 degrees, whatever I forget and leave it at. So it cycles literally all day long because it's a steel roof on the building and there is not a lot of insulation upstairs. We didn't re-roof it and put new up-to-date insulation. So it is overtaxed. So it freezes the coils up. That happens a few times a year. Yeah, Carrie, man, I'm glad you're here, buddy. Appreciate your time, thoughts, cutting through the bullshit and giving it to us. Evan, buddy, man, sometimes I'm wrong. Like, when I say I can tell you what I did. I can tell you what worked and what the solution was. That doesn't mean it'll always be the same for everybody, though. Oh, it's running now. Good, Pierre, man. It was hot as fuck. Yeah, it was 95 degrees here today, man. I walked outside at 6 o'clock thinking it was going to be cooler. It was fucking 92 at 6 o'clock, and I went in the row house. I don't know how hot it was in the greenhouse, but I went in there, moved all the rest of the roller cart raised beds out of there, and then took the lawn blower and blew off all the weed matting inside there, and then pulled a bunch of crabgrass. When I came inside, I was soaking wet. Like, there was literally sweat dripping out of my clothes. I'm going to get a window unit and leave it as a spare. Pierre, man, we did that at the Cedar Lakes house. We ran window units because you can run them off of a compressor if you have to very easily. Gakra June, man, I'm sure I slayed your name. Thanks for being here. Task Force meme, what up? Task Force, buddy. You should join our private membership. That's where all the content's at. Like, I do these lives every night at 9, and we'll talk about whatever. The Pulling the Thread podcast is behind the paywall. They eventually come out 90 days, 120 days after the fact. They come out free to the public. But all the current events, and we record one every week. And then the members only question and answer, John and Amanda. We record a couple hours of that every week too, and those are behind the paywall. And then there's other shit. We also have Patreon. It's $5, and we're giving stuff away on Patreon, and that's where you ask the questions that we do when we build a podcast. You ask the questions on Patreon for the Pulling the Thread, and then we answer them on the YouTube videos, which are behind the pay. And I know dudes are like, I'm not paying for another thing. I get it. I also don't care. But all those viral videos you see, those 30-second clips that literally have 10,000, 20,000 comments on them, that's where they're coming from. And people comment on them because they misunderstand them. If there was 2 more words on most of those shorts, nobody would comment because you would have different context. They are built in that manner so that people rage reply and it goes viral. We don't build those videos for the guys being assholes. We build the videos so those guys will be assholes and make the video go viral. And when it goes viral, for every 1 person commenting, there's 1,000 people watching. And then real people come over and join the membership, and real people like you guys tonight show up on this live feed. People that showed up on this live feed, most of them are here because they saw one of those videos that went viral. And they only went viral because people act out of negativity. If you look at the videos that have 10,000 comments and watch a few of those, and watch the videos that have 10 or 20 comments, the videos with 10 or 20 comments are actual real. They have actionable shit in there. People aren't looking for that. People want to be entertained and amused by negative shit, and they only interact with negative shit in their life. And that is how most people that walk amongst you, it's how most people in the world are. Don't be like most people. Here, because someone told me about SOE gear. Stepping stone in my life. Angel, well, welcome, buddy. Those shorts are the best, Mark. Yeah, you want to see crazy shit? Look at the shorts on YouTube here. Look at the shorts on the Pulling the Thread podcast TikTok page. The TikTok has 100 times the comments that the YouTube does. Unfortunately, there's no way to monetize the TikTok shit. We don't make any money from the TikTok. And I haven't had a single person tell me, hey, I found you and I'm on your live feed, or I found you and I bought your product because of TikTok. Not one time. Here because your shorts. Yep, exactly. Well, guys, we do an event here called Self-Reliance Festival. We'll have 1,000 people here again in October. On Thursday, Friday, October 14th and 15th is Self-Reliance Festival. Thursday, Friday, we're doing a 2-day radio class. Even if you have no interest in the radio class, you get access to the property and you get to come hang out with all the vendors and everybody ahead of time, and you can camp here. Saturday, Self-Reliance Festival. We're going to have 30, 40, 50 people here presenting and demonstrations and all kinds of vendors and stuff. And then on Monday, we're having a poultry processing, a chicken processing class. Everybody can raise chickens. We'll teach you how to turn them into meat. So, you should come out. Scully's Glock High Point deal is the best. Yeah, it's all a joke. If you look through all those videos about Glocks and High Points, Glock has never interacted on our social media one time. High Point interacts on our social media every time. Do I have staff to help manage the property? No, everything you see, literally everything you see having to do with outside garden, homesteading animals, 99% of it is just me, including all the video, every bit of the video. I have a dude that cuts the video and edits the video, but all of the video and drone work you see, that's me. And what you should get from that, what that means is, when you go out to do a task that takes 15 minutes, and you set out to video that task, it actually takes an hour. Want me to meat monger during the radio class? That'd probably be great, Jason. I don't know what they have planned, but yeah. Hoping I can make SRF next year. Can't this year. I have too much for foster kids taking all my paid time off. Well, that's more important, man. Change some kid's life. Maybe they'll change the fucking world. Carrie Brown, downtown Carrie Brown. All right, guys, I'm out of here for real. I will talk to you tomorrow. Hey, we got a lot of content went up, guys. Check it out. I bought some tools this weekend. I'm actually very excited about this silly little thing. I'm the worst. I will buy these, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to open this. And I'm like, no, I need to video it when I open it. And I'll wait 6 months before I shoot a fucking video. But I'll open it and show it to you guys. All right, I'm out of here. Everybody have a good night. I may have gotten one straightened out. He's basic for... Oh, nice, nice. Where can I learn more about Self-Reliance Festival? John Fisher. Self-reliancefestival.com is the website. There's an Instagram page, though it's super fucking lame. Somehow we've been posting on it for the last week. But there's like 2 years worth where it wasn't, nobody posted anything. So if you look at it, you won't go, oh, this is awesome. I really want to attend this. And that's what we're working towards. So self-reliancefestival.com. And I do this video live every night where we talk about literally whatever you want to talk about. If you join our membership for $1, you get access to all of the question and answers every Friday, and we talk a ton about homesteading, lifestyle design, Self-Reliance Festival, stuff like that. And I have 4,000 videos on this YouTube channel, like 4,000 real videos, not these shorts and lives, but real 15 to 30-minute videos. I have a whole compilation called On the Compound. And then there's a ton of other videos also, all kinds of shit. So you could watch years and just play those contents for a year and never see all of them. Camper and Can, what's up, buddy? So I'm out, guys. See you tomorrow night. Check out some videos. If anything in there is of value to you, please send it to somebody that you care about that might also benefit from it.